I wasn't going to, so you
Hey,
can.
okay. Well, make sure
All
you
right,
edit
Greg.
this part out. Yeah, because it's crazy.
Oh yeah, I edited all the beginning part out. I try to edit it up until the intro.
Stop, Darian.
Okay. Well, you can start it, bro.
So we got people in chat. So we about to get started right here. So first of all, I want to give thanks and honor, praises, kahala to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. And I also want to give thanks to all the elders and the prophets that have came before us and that have been pushing this truth and this message around the world. And I also want to give thanks and honors and to the Akwat and Akion that have been watching, learning, listening. And we're going to have a lesson today, and we're going to be talking about the wicked and foolish Israelites. And I'm not talking about all of us, but I'm talking about the people that's out here that know who they are and know the truth, and they still out here protesting, bro, confused and lost. And one thing I wanted to touch into at the beginning is that when you come into this truth and you know who you are, there's certain things that you know that you're not gonna do anymore, and you're not gonna get caught up in. So when you out here, you in public, you wearing these fringes, you know this certain way you gotta carry yourself. So people that be at these fringes, they should wear these fringes. They should already know some importance while we wear them. So I wanted to touch into Numbers 15:38 through 40, and speaking to the children of Israel, and bid them and take them and make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, that they put them upon their fringe of their borders of a ribbon of blue. That's a little blue band you see around the fringes, and it should be and it should be unto you for a friends that should make a look upon it, and remember all the commandments of Yahweh and do them, that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which ye use to go a whoring, that ye may remember and do all my commandments and be holy unto your God. So I'm gonna stand up and show y'all what, make sure y'all get a look at what they're supposed to look like. That's what I'm talking about. Bear with me for a second. Let me stand up and sit down and get my shirt right. So right, see that right there? Got the gold with the blue ribbon. So when you wearing something like this, bro, you represent us, bro. You gotta be representing yourself, bro. So brothers out here at the protest going wild, bro. And y'all got friends on, bro. I gotta remember y'all representing us too, bro. Y'all putting all of us in danger when y'all here doing this crazy stuff. And Bantu Elohim, that ain't Yahweh, bro. That's not the name, bro. Just a side note to answer that question. But you can go ahead, Darren. Roman.
All right. But yeah, just to touch on what he was saying, it's basically like you remembering the covenant, and to remember the covenant, you have to be a doer of the word. That's what we made. That's what the promise is for. So people just be wearing it as fashion, it has meaning behind it. But I'm gonna jump to Romans chapter 8, verses 5 through 7. So 5, for they are after the flesh, do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, are the things of the spirit. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Because the carnal mind is enmity against Yahweh, for it is not subject to the law of Yahweh, neither indeed can be. So basically what this is talking about is people are becoming slaves to their flesh. We're spiritual entities. The flesh is just a shell. So when people are out here protesting and things like that, you're feeding onto like your flesh. We understand, Black Lives Matter. We're not saying that. What we're saying is we have to be wise on how we go about things. We're not supposed to use emotions all the time, but we need to use logical. We have to use a ruling mindset. Let the spirit talk instead of what you see and things like that. So from the outside world, it looks nice, because Black Lives Matter, we're marching and stuff like that. But a lot of people don't do the research. Who's behind it? You know what I'm saying? Who's behind it? Why are they using our face for it and things like that? And that's what's gonna get you killed when you're carnally minded, because you're starving your spirit, you're starving yourself, to be honest, and you're going against the Most High and the law, because the law are metaphysical truth. Because the Most High told you you have to come to Him in spirit and truth. If you're coming to Him in flesh, then your flesh is nothing but sin. So you're not gonna do nothing but cast yourself out.
Facts. And just like you were saying, with you don't know who's behind and who's pushing this Black Lives Matter entity. Just like we was talking about earlier. If you look it up, George Soros is the person behind his entity, and if you look up who George Soros is and the people he worked with, these are the Jewish community, fake Jews. So basically, you're helping a wicked man do false report. You're helping a wicked man do false deeds, and you're helping a wicked man push lies. So I want to jump down to Exodus 23:2. Well, I want to start with verse 1.
Oh, also, hold on, before that.
Okay.
Like a lot of people be like, oh, my favorite celebrity is giving money to such and such. Well, where's that money going? You see what I'm saying? Like, they don't even have a plan you got to have a plan before you just send money off. People don't even understand where their money is going. It's not going nothing but back to a billionaire's pocket. So y'all getting played. Y'all just getting used for money.
Yeah, a lot of times that money is just funding people's personal agendas, bro. It's not really helping the people that it's supposed to help.
Of course not.
The money's not really getting to the ground in the hood like they say it is.
It ain't doing nothing but pushing racial reforms, man.
It's just more funding for the Black Lives Matter movement, which is just pushing more.
Riding the wave.
Yep. So back to Exodus 23:1. You shall not spread false report. You shall not join hands with a wicked man to be a malicious witness. So basically what that's saying is you're not supposed to join unto the wicked. You're not supposed to join unto people who are doing unrighteous things. Just like this time now. You see people out there joining unto Esau and these other nations when they're here pleading for your help, but they're in all reality, they can't help you in the end of the day. They can't help you from this unjust system or these laws that's not going in your favor. You got to get yourself out of this. And the only way to get out of this has been laid out in this book. We have to follow these laws and these commandments, just like I touched on in Numbers 15, 38 through 40. In verse 2, do not follow the crowd in doing wrong. When you give testimony in a lawsuit, do not pervert the justice by sliding with the crowd. So basically what that's saying is don't go along with the crowd. So even if you're in a courtroom and you're arguing law, don't go with the crowd just because it might be in your benefit, or you might not go to jail. Don't go with the crowd. That's what the Most High is saying. He said always go with the truth, go with righteousness. And that's what a lot of people are not going right now. They're not going with the truth. They just following the crowd. They don't really understand what's going on. So they just following what people are doing with the signs, going out there, disrupting traffic, all that stuff. Well, that's not really, at the end of the day, that's not really solving the issue. Destroying buildings and causing fire, that's not solving the issue. Going out there, protesting and halting traffic for 3-4 hours, that's not going to solve the issue. You're just getting people upset. That's all it's going to do. Also, I want to go to 1 Thessalonians 5, and I want to start with verse 18. In everything give thanks, for this is the will of Yahweh, in Christ, Yahweh shall concerning you. Verse 19, quench not the spirit, despise not prophecy, prove all things, hold fast, which is good, abstain from all appearance of evil. So I want to go back and touch on verse 18. So basically, we need to be giving thanks, even though things are not going right, and we might think that things should be going better, that we need a little bit of money in our pocket, or our bills should be paid, or whatever situation you're going through. Still give thanks, bro, because we still here to see another day. The sun is shining, and we're not dead, bro. We're 6 feet above ground. So give thanks, bro, for that is the will of Yahweh, bro. So, and going verse 19, and quench not the spirit. So basically what that's saying is quench not the spirit is that's pertaining to he doesn't want you to he doesn't want you to dwell on he really wants you he don't want you to dwell on things of the it's the word I'm trying to use. So like he doesn't want you to dwell on things of the spirit, not understanding like the Holy Spirit, but the spirit realm concerning other things that may be wicked. That's what he's talking about in number 19. And verse 20, and despise not prophesying. And he's saying not despise the things that are prophesied, like destruction, death, famine, and all these things that are coming. Don't despise all these bad things that are coming, because these things have to come to pass. And the spirit and the will of Yahweh has to come to pass. Like, don't despise that all these things are happening. Like, man, I ain't got no job, or this and that going on. You can't despise these things. You can't be upset, because in order for things to get better for us, all this has to come to fruition. In verse 21, and prove all things and hold fast, which is good. So prove all things, to Yahweh, and prove all things with this word by doing his law. And hold fast, we hold fast by hold fast to our brothers, and we hold fast to Yahweh. Keep following this word and everything that's good. So we go through, we don't follow people that's doing the wrong thing. Even though we know that this place is wicked, we don't go out here destroying property. We don't go out here disrupting traffic. We don't go out here doing any of that. We do what's described in this book, because we're not supposed to do that. Unless Yahweh comes out and says it himself and says, do this, then we're going to do it. But we don't move until he moves. And then verse 22, abstain from all evil, from appearance of all evil. So we need to abstain from all evil, all wickedness. So we got to take the scales, got to be able to see that wickedness is put everywhere. There's going to be people that's going to be come to us like they help, but they really got to stick it in our back. And another precept that I got is Proverbs 3, 5 through 6. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding. In all ways acknowledge him, he shall direct thy paths. All right, now I'm going to go down to Philippians 2:14. Do everything without grumbling and arguing. So you know right there, so do everything without complaining, moaning, or griping. But just like I was touching on earlier, so even though things are not going well, things might not be going well for you personally in life, and you might be trying to figure out what's the next move or what you're going to do next. You still got to give thanks. You can't be grumping in a moment or griping about it. You got to move forward. We got to keep pushing, because that's not the purpose. And we're going to dwell on ourselves. We're not going to get anything done. Verse 15, so that you may become blameless and pure, and the children of God, of Yahweh, without fault and warped in a crooked generation. You will shine among them like stars in the sky. So 15 is talking about because we have endured and we have not complained, we have not griped, we have kept the will of Yahweh, that we have become blameless, we have become pure, that he has washed away our sins, that he's not looking at all the sins that we've done in the past, that he's looking at what we're doing now, that we're keeping the law.
Hey, they saying you echoing.
How about now? How about now? I'm echoing. How about now?
I mean, you got to ask them that.
I don't hear it. I heard it a little bit. I think it's good. So let me get back to what I was talking about. So just like I was saying, that because we have been following the laws and the commandments, that Yahweh's going to look at that, and that he's going to look at that, and he's going to understand that we're turning away from our crooked ways and we're trying to separate, and that we're going to become pure, and he's going to look at us in that same pure way, and then we'll shine again. We'll shine just like we did in the old days, and we'll have our kingdom again. We'll have rulership. Anything you want to touch on that, Darren?
Yeah, I got you. I'm trying to look for the scripture.
2 Corinthians. That's where we at.
No, not that one. When it's saying like be patient when you're transformed into a lowly state. It might be Second Esdras. It might be the first chapter or chapter 3. Let me see. I come back to it, but based off Second Corinthians, Philippians. I mean, you touched on it all. I think the next one I'm gonna read goes hand in hand. So I'm gonna read 2 Corinthians chapter 6 verses 1 through 3. We then, as workers together with him, beseech you also that you receive not the grace of Yahweh in vain. For he saith, I have heard thee in a time accepted, and in the day of salvation have I succored thee. Behold, now is the accepted time. Behold, now is the day of salvation. Giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed, but in all things approving ourselves as the ministers of Yahweh, in much patience, in afflictions, necessities, and in distresses. So basically, like he was saying before, basically being patient, in a lowly state. And I have to find the scripture for it. I'll probably like close out with it before Hosea. So just basically, as long as you do your job, teach the gospel and things like that, you have nothing to worry about. And that's what I be telling folks, like Ecclesiastes 12:13 says, the whole duty of man is just to follow the laws, fear Yahweh. Once you do that, everything else is gonna be taken care of. You don't have to worry about how you're gonna pay this next bill and things like that. Yes, things are going unfair right now, but I mean, we have to blame ourselves for it. We have to blame ourselves for it, but you still got to push the gospel. Nobody said it was going to be a walk in the park. It's just birth pains. That's basically what's it starting to be. And Jacob's trouble, like he said, is going to be a time, like a day that never was or have been. So you have to, but as long as you keep faith in the Most High and obey these laws and commandments and have patience, then your work will speak for itself. You got anything to touch on that one, man?
Exactly. Just like he talked about earlier, like we need patience. Like touched on earlier in another topic with Jacob's trouble, that we need patience. Just like the saints had patience, and that's the patience of the saints that we're enduring to the very end. That we know that at the end that we're going to get forward. That we know that we're keeping the laws and the commandments, sacrificing right now. At the end, that we're going to be rewarded for this. All is not being forgotten. Nothing's being unlooked, but we're sacrificing right now.
Right on. I'm going to jump to Proverbs Chapter 6, verses 16 through 17. These 6 things doth Yahweh hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. I just read 18 and 19. And heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. So I'm going to I just touch on all of them. So 16, just basically telling you, there's 6 things, 7 really, that the Most High hates. A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. Well, we often times come across it, but he's basically speaking about, this is talking about Esau Edom. Esau Edom always has a proud look. He stays lying, and they were blessed with the sword, so they built everything off bloodshed. 18, same thing. A heart that devises wicked imaginations. They're always trying to dwell in wickedness. That's all it is darkness. And that's what the 2/3 go through too. That's all they speak about is like wickedness. You can hear it in the music that people listen to. You can see it in everything. You can step outside and you'll see it all the time. And the feet that be swift and running to mischief. So basically, like the Israelites, the ones that are in the protests. We be so quick to run to mischief in these protests to speak our cause and stuff like that. But we are the watchers. So we already understand what's going to happen. We already understand, the 1/3 got to play their part. The 2/3 got to play their part. You have to think in chess moves, just like the Most High does. If I'm going down to the protest, then what are my outcomes? Well, I could be hit with tear gas, get hit with rubber bullets and things like that.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, what is that going to prove? Nothing. I mean, you're going to make it look bad on us because we already getting demonized by Esau Edom for being the men of the Lord and preaching the truth. You know, the 2/3, I mean, he's going to get on all of Israel, you know what I'm saying? But the 2/3, he's not worried about them because they easily swayed, just like they're using their emotions now to protest and all this stuff. You know, it ain't doing nothing but pushing martial law. So you out here causing insurrection, you know, even though it's going to happen regardless. You're trying to implement yourself and run into mischief. You know, they could be looters outside. You know, you could be next to a group of people that start looting. Then you're gonna be looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? So you're not doing it. It's so many terrible outcomes to happen. You got to think ahead of time, not just based off your emotion. Yes, we understand, you know, the system is unfair and stuff like that. The system wasn't built for us anyways. You know, we still in captivity. So we see stuff differently than the 2/3 do because we are the watchers. We have all the information. It's up to you to figure out how you're going to go about it. Are you going to obey the ways of the Most High, or are you going to use your emotions and go out there and protest with them? It's not going to make no difference. Like if you go your own way, you're going to end up, you know, harming your own self, to be honest. 19, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. Well, you're sowing discord, you know, among brethren when you got signs, you know, it's like F Esau, F, you know, the Masons and stuff like that. Well, I mean, you're not doing nothing but making yourself a bigger target. You know what I'm saying? So you're not doing nothing but making it harder for you. All you had to do was obey. You be disobedient, and plus you know better. You ain't doing nothing but cutting yourself even deeper.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely about Exodus. Yeah, exactly. Joseph, like you said, like Exodus 23:2. You know, we holding hands with our oppressors, and then we're on top of that. We're making ourselves look back at the end of the day. We're not doing nothing but playing into their hands and playing into their pockets too. So
Exactly.
you know.
Right. And I wanted to jump down to Jeremiah 6:9. This is what Yahweh says. Let them glean the remnant of Israel all throughout as pass your hand over the like one gathering grapes. And I want to go back to that glean word. Glean means extract information from various sources. So that word right there, Israel means he wants to glean and pick through, extract the good. He wants to extract the good and the righteous, just like a vine, just like a grapevine. So basically, that's letting us know that the Lord is. He's letting everybody. He's extracting. He's getting ready. He's getting ready to extract the remnant. He's gathering up his people. That's why you notice more and more people wake up. More and more people are coming to light. But we still got people a little wavering. Anything Jeremiah 6?
Nah, I mean you touched on it. You know, like I was saying before. You know, the 2/3 got to play their part, and the 1/3 got to play their part. You know, it's not making it no easier if you trying to dwell with the 2/3. You know what I'm saying? You're not doing nothing but leading yourself to the slaughter. I mean, they already dead weight. So you're not doing nothing but trying to get yourself killed, that's pointless. That's dumb. So I understand that people want to protest, but you got to go about it a smarter way. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to jump to 1 Samuel. So I'm on 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 3. Talk no more so exceeding proudly. Let not arrogance come out of your mouth. For Yahweh is a power of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. So basically, like I was saying before, when people go out there with signs and they saying F this, F that, well, you're not doing nothing but speaking in like, you know, in the form of arrogancy, you know, because especially when you have fringes on, you already know you're above the enemy. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And when you go out there and you like, oh, you know, F them, I'm better than them and stuff like that. Well, it looks bad on you because you know better. You know what I'm saying? You making it look bad because you're not solving anything at that. And you being arrogant, just like we just read in Proverbs, you know, that's one of the abominations he hates. So now, there's always a difference between being disobedient and being ignorant. Well, now you're being just woefully ignorant / disobedience. That's all you showing. So when he's telling you it's a God of not, he's a power of knowledge, and by him actions away, well, you're looking bad now because you're not doing nothing but taking the knowledge that you're learning and being arrogant with it. He told you to be humble. You know what I'm saying? So at any time, he can easily take that knowledge away from you. You just because you chosen, don't mean you can't be unchosen. So people just be getting too comfortable and just think, well, I'm just going to attack the enemy, which they want you to do regardless. You're not making it nothing easier. You fighting against the grain.
They be violent. They want you to
Pretty
be
much.
more violent than them, so they'll have a reason to come in with brute force. So that it's too late for you to try to say anything. That when they're coming in there, pop people's heads off. That's what they want you to do. That's what we're trying to warn people.
That martial law, that's what they're trying to push for. People just too ignorant to figure it out. Like, you stealing. I understand a few bad apples are gonna make the whole batch bad. I understand people want to, protest and stuff like that. But I mean, what has it solved? You know what I'm saying? They've been doing it for many years.
At least 100 years.
Yeah, they're not listening to you, man.
Years.
Like,
this ain't new. This ain't new. But this is stay in the book of Samuel, First Samuel. I'm going to chapter 16, verse 7. But Yahweh said, "Do not consider his appearance or his height, for I have rejected him." Yahweh does not look at things that people look at. So he's trying to say, I don't look at appearance. I don't look at what he looks like on the outside, that he looks rap, he looks handsome, or he looks ugly, or whatever, for people might see. People look at the outward appearance, but Yahweh looks at the heart. So he looks at are you really committed? Do you mean what you say? Not just you being just a good-hearted person, because that's what he wants to do. But he also wants you to follow his law. And if you're a good-hearted person and you're good on your word, you're gonna follow his law. You're gonna do your due diligence, find out what his law is to follow. It's not just saying, "Oh, he has a good heart," but what he means by that, you have a good heart, you love Yahweh. Anything you want to touch on that?
What, on Samuel 16 and 7?
Yeah.
Well, I can touch on many of them, but basically what he's saying, like, your countenance, well, from what you're talking about, what he's saying is, like, your looks don't matter. You know what I'm saying? He's worried about where your heart is. Well, when he's speaking about the heart, he's talking about your mind. That's what a lot of people get mixed up on. Your heart, when he says, don't lean upon your heart and stuff like that. He's talking about your mind, by the way. But, I mean, like he's saying, don't, it's simple. Don't lean upon your looks. Simple as that. Lean upon, like, your heart, your actions. So you get people that be like, oh, yeah, I got a friend, not all white people are bad. Well, okay, now you're leaning upon people's looks. He might not look mean or something like that. Okay, but what about his nation? Where are their hearts at? He punishes you as a nation. He don't punish you as, as an individual. So just like we mentioned back in Exodus, when he's saying, don't hold hands, basically like wicked people. Well, that's what we doing now, is because we stuck in that oppressive type of state. You know what I'm saying? People just like, oh, we want fair rights and stuff like that. And then sooner or later, people just gonna stop. Because if they bring back sports, people's heart don't even be fully into this. People just do it because it's the wave. You know what I'm saying? People don't.
It's a fad. We ain't got nothing on TV. The coronavirus put everything down. But as soon as sports get rolling, all that's going.
Yeah. I already know it.
People only thinking about this because it's something to do, bro. A lot of people. But the people who really care, bro, they're gonna find out. They're gonna find out real soon.
I'm looking for this verse when it says, oh, here you go. All right, Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse I'm gonna read 1 through 3. So, my son, if thou come to serve Yahweh, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Right? Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. So it's just like that. So he's telling you, yeah, you're gonna prepare your soul for temptations because it's gonna happen. I'm sure there's a lot of Israelites that want to go out there and protest and stuff like that. And then there's a few that don't, that don't care for it and stuff like that. But you got some that are just based off their spirit, like their carnal spirit, and they just see the actions and they're not thinking, has this solved anything? No, and things like that. They're using their emotions. If I go to a group of people, that's considered 2/3, and I tell them March is not gonna do nothing, they're gonna think I'm an enemy. They're gonna think I'm a coon.
Yeah.
Because that's all they know. They want quick and swift and severe judgment. You know what I'm saying? But it's not gonna happen all in one day. You know what I'm saying? He told you vengeance is for him. It's not for us. So we can't change nothing. You know what I'm saying?
People want quick, fast solutions, bro. They want the solution quick. They want the remedy quick. It doesn't work like that. It's a process of everything.
I mean, yeah, and that's just how that works. But at the same time, we're not gonna get no justice in this world. Come on now. If Esau Edom already understands, we got next. So you don't think he's gonna try his hardest to hold on to what he got? If that means he gotta demonize us, that's what he's gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
And people not getting that, and then now he's turning the that's why he's turning the southern kingdom against the northern. You know what I'm saying?
That's why he's against each other.
I mean, but the media portrayed that, and it wasn't really going that way. It was just people took it that way. It was like individual explained it on live, and was saying, explained it, and that's what the media does because people don't want to think. Like even some of our people, like the Hispanics and stuff like that, they're playing into the things of like they're going against us. Like, how you gonna go against your own people? We from the same nations. Why are you looking bad at us? What have we done? You know what I'm saying?
Checkers, we playing, and they playing checkers, we playing chess.
Exactly, just like he said, man. Like it's getting out of hand, But I'm gonna close with Hosea 4:6. Let me turn to it. Give me 1 second. 7:15. But yeah, Hosea 4:6. I mean, it sums it up straight like that. Like simple. So Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. That thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children. So basically, it's simple. A lot of our people don't want to read. You know what I'm saying? If you put, not all Jakes, all right, but you put a book in front of Jake, he's not gonna read it. And if I tell him and I talk to him and stuff like that, then he'll understand it when you make it personal. But that, on top of being wicked, I can lie to him. I can tell him anything he wants. You know what I'm saying?
You confuse him.
Yeah, on top of stereotypes. So you already got strikes against you. So now it's looking bad when you be telling folks like that, because people don't want to read. People don't want to read for themselves or learn about what they said. That's why I be telling folks. Folks be like, okay, well, when is this going to change? And we give them the answer. Hey, yo, look, pick up your Bible, man, read. They always got something negative to say about the Bible, which is like, all right,
some they don't agree with it in there. What about this? Come on, bro. Either you in it or you not, bro. You gotta be fully in it or you're not.
Yeah, and you get people like that, so you get destroyed for the lack of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? They starting to understand, like they understand the basics, the Hispanics and the Puerto Ricans on there, we're all one nation, yes, but when we try to go in detail, tell them, you're Hebrew Israelite, this and that, they don't even try to say, I'm gonna do my research on that. I'm gonna do my research on that. They just like, nah, bro, what are you talking about? I come from this, I come from that. You're making yourself look bad, and that's why you get destroyed, because you're not allowing yourself to receive knowledge. You're quick to bash something because we stiff-necked people. You know what I'm saying? Like Baruch 2:30 says, we're stiff-necked people. So, I mean, the best thing we can really do is stay away from those protests. Stay in your Bible, read, teach. I be telling folks, you can repost my post. I don't care. It's not my personal post, it's the word. So if you need help,
information.
Yeah, if you're trying to spread the word like we're supposed to do, repost it. You don't have to think of something on the spot, but you got to spread the word because you never know. That person you might see every day or something like that, you're awakening them. So what people got to understand, the faster we wake up people, the faster we can go home. Exactly. The faster we return to these laws, the faster we can go home. People tired of being in captivity and stuff like that. Well, you've had the answer with you all along.
Right.
So we just got to do our part and not worry about, what Esau Edom has going on. Because at the end of the day, the Most High is always in control at the end of the day. So just do your part and we'll be straight. But yeah, that's all I had to say on that one, man.
Facts. I'll let you close out, man. I think we hit everything on there. Appreciate everybody watching, bro.
Yeah, I have a good one. If y'all got any questions, you can inbox Paris or, you can inbox me. It doesn't matter. But I don't mind helping people because we also got to teach about prophecy, which is very important. I know people still learning about the basics and stuff like that, but, you got to start shifting your way towards prophecy as well. Like I said, I got PowerPoints, I got sheets, I got everything that people need help trying to get started into the word. And, I don't mind taking, like ahead of time doing like Bible study and stuff like that. So that don't matter, bro. I'm sure it don't matter with Paris either, but y'all, it don't mind to ask because that's how I learn. I just ask questions.
Yep. Ask questions. Be intrigued, man.
Yeah, but
or that lamp.
Exactly. But before we close, we want to give all praise, power, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Kakodash. Double honors to the elders, the prophets, the wise men, our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And salutations to the hopeful elect out there spreading the truth and the gospel to the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and freedom to do so. Y'all stay prayed up, stay reading up, and just patience of the saints.
Y'all stay safe, too. Stay out the protest. We out.
Back. Shalom.
You showed how utterly desperate you were to do that for Hillary Clinton. That you were going to pull out all the stops, and that since she didn't have any black credentials to speak of, that you would just dance and jig for the niggas. This shows you how out of touch with black folk Roland is. He sees black people the way white people do.
That is it for us. I do got to ask you, do you know how to wobble?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you know how to wobble?
I don't.
You know how to wobble? You just lost the black vote right there.
Yeah.